So Jackson State is looking to sign another historic class. I'm so excited because we all do not know who are the silent commits. But in this clip, Coach Prime talks about his team and the future of where it could be. Man, it's about to be a show.
We got the win and we remain dominant and keep pushing the envelope. We're on the verge of having another phenomenal recruiting class. We're on the verge of entering in our new locker room in a short period of time and having that whole look leading into the practice field, just a whole new look. We're on the verge of some beautiful things here on the campus of Jackson State in putting the country on notice that you can make it from HBCU into the NFL like it once were before, when it was plentiful, when that was the thought, that was the normalcy. We got to get that normalcy back.
What's good, everyone? This is DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. And man, the first half of signing day is almost here. December 15th. Mark it on your calendars. December 15th. I expect some big names to be signed. Word on the street. And you can tell from that clip that Coach Prime was spilling some nuggets. And one thing about Coach Prime, he doesn't sugarcoat anything. He's going to tell her how it is. You look at the key words: amazing, transcendent. We're going to put the country on notice. When a coach says these things, that's when you know there's going to be ample amount of great talent, not good talent, great talent. Just a prediction. I believe Coach Prime is going to get some FBS players who actually played in games. Not the FBS players that have been riding the bench and then they go to a smaller school to finally play. James Houston, he was an impact player because he was a starter for Florida. I remember when I watched him play against Alabama in the SEC championship game. James Houston was everywhere. And he was playing middle linebacker. So it shows his versatility. James Houston had such a vicious hit on Najee Harris, who plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was always physical, fast, and he was smart. And now you see James Houston carving up another niche. He's playing a position that he doesn't play, the edge position. And he was causing hell, and he's going to continue to do that in these next games in opponents' backfields. This is what type of player Coach Prime is trying to get. He doesn't want to get players who do not love this game called football, who does not love the culture. If you look at all the social media of these transfers who are starting for Jackson State, they love this. They love being around their people. They love making history alongside with Coach Prime. And look at the players who transferred. Missing practices, complaining. What was that one Spencer player? No offense to him, and I hope he has a great career. But I'm keeping it real with y'all. Remember what he said on the Coach Prime docuseries? That I didn't have to come to Jackson State. You guys need me. See, those are not the players that fits with this culture. At all. And that's very disrespectful. For anyone, I don't care if you're a D1 player, I don't care if you came from Alabama. when you go to these HBCU schools, be appreciative. Give respect to our black coaches. Because if it was Nick Saban or Dabo Swinney, Bob Stoops, I'm not going to say Lincoln Riley. I'm kind of, shout out to the Sooners. Shout out to the Sooners, man. That's all I got to say. Boomer Sooner. But respected coaches like that, players are not going to speak to them in that type of tone. So I expect the same respect to the brothers who are coaching HBCUs. And to everyone who's following me, for you to look at potential prospects who are in the transfer portal, the best way to do that is go to 24/7 Sports transfer portal, or go on Google and put transfer portal 24/7. You can see the players who are committed to a new school or their interests. It's a good tool to use. So that's the place you go to. And man, I'm seeing some Big Ten linemen in there, SEC offensive linemen, defensive line. Coach Prime, he is going to make a big emphasis on getting the best, most ready offensive linemen in this class. Now, they're going to get high school players too. But what they're going to address is offensive linemen who know how to pass protect, on the left tackle position especially, who has played games. Not ones who sit the bench and was a project. No, the ones who have played actual games. Preferably graduate transfers are good to get for the offensive line position. Now, I've been receiving messages saying that it's important for the offensive line to gel. My retort to that is, yeah, that is true. But if you're seeing a bad product on the field in offensive line play, you got to add some dogs, man. Throughout the season, their weakness on the offensive line, there wasn't enough punch. There wasn't enough physicality. There was too many penalties. Shadir would be scrambling for his life. Find a receiver for 30 yards. And we think it's all good, and then there's a penalty, holding. Illegal procedure penalty. Another holding penalty. And so forth. So that's got to get rectified. But the Jackson State recruiting class, look at their two commitments. So Jonas Fortelin, and brother, if I say your name wrong, please forgive me. Now, ESPN has him as a 4-star. Other sites has him as a high 3-star. So I'm going to say a 4-star, since he was given that by ESPN. 6'4", 210, athletic, plays really good competition in Orlando, Florida. So he's battle tested. And it's another weapon for Shadir Sanders. Another great selection, DB Kalen Kennedy just won the Jayhawk Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Now, the Jayhawk Conference is the most elite conference in JUCO football. I know there's some Mississippi schools that are elite as well, but the Jayhawk Conference is top notch. A lot of great players in that conference. For him to win that award, he's bringing that to Jackson State. So 2 players, a 4-star with a, I think it was an 80 grade on ESPN, and Jonas Fortelin, and Kalen Kennedy, who just won the Defensive Player of the Year for the Jayhawk Conference, the DB out of the JUCO College, Garden City. So 2 players who are impact players already. So can you imagine when this class is signed? Scary hours. Scary hours. The defensive backfield just got better. And my prediction for him, Kalen Kennedy, he will start. He's a number 6 corner in the country, and he could play on bump and run. He could play off man. He could play in a slot. Trust me, he can cover. And I'll be surprised if he doesn't start next season. He's that good. The only way he could not start, in my opinion, if they go on the transfer portal and get a DB better than him. But what I've seen from film-wise, the athleticism, 4.4 speed, look like high 4.3 speed. This brother's a baller. So signing day is approaching. Jackson State fans, you got to be happy, man. You got to be happy for your team. Let no one take your joy. Enjoy the SWAC championship game against Prairie View A&M. Shout out to PV. Shout out to all my kinfolk that went to PV. See y'all doing your thing. Hopefully it's a good matchup. But most importantly, support. Go to that stadium proud. And man, the one regret is I've been working so much that I wasn't able to go to any games. Next season, I'm going to make my schedule to catch at least 5 games or so. This has been a tough year. And, you know how work is. But I appreciate all of you. Shout out to all the SWAC content creators. Shout out to the subs who support this channel, show love. And lastly, shout out to Coach Prime. He gets hated on so many times, but still rises above the hate. That's what real coaching looks like. And one last shout out. Marcus Freeman has accepted a head coaching position of Notre Dame. I know a lot of us don't care about Notre Dame, but I'll say this. Marcus Freeman is one of the brightest young minds in the coaching industry. He's 35 years old, defensive wizard. So many teams wanted him as a lead defensive coordinator or head coach. Congratulations. And I've never rooted for Notre Dame, but I can honestly say I hope Marcus Freeman has a lot of great years. I know he will. He's recruiting at a high level. You know how difficult that is to recruit really well in Notre Dame? He's the reason why Notre Dame has the number 2 recruiting class in year 2023. And they have the number 5th ranked recruiting class in 2022. It's because of him, not because of Brian Kelly. And he probably would do well at LSU. But what I've been hearing is Marcus Freeman, the relationship he has with the players, that's why they're getting those players. So congratulations to him. This is DJ's Raw and Cut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need, and I'm out.